Today, the actress responded, thanking the group for allowing her to post one of their empowering videos, and she apologized.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times movie studios apologized for stupid decisions.
The Disney place wanted some money because they own all of the movies.
For this list, we're looking at instances where film companies asked for forgiveness after the business or one of their employees made a horrible misstep. Which of these mistakes shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Making light of allergic reactions in Peter Rabbit. Sony Pictures.
Blackberry.
No, but you're allergic to... clever.
A feud between animals and a man named Thomas nearly went from playful to deadly during an infamous scene. While Peter Rabbit is trying to get rid of his human rival, he and his allies trigger the man's blackberry allergy. When Thomas saves his own life at the last second with an EpiPen, the animal actually sounds disappointed he survived.
That should do it. Oh! This guy's like some kind of sorcerer.
Many adults were angry that a kids' movie included a scene that makes triggering deadly allergies seem like a joke. In the wake of calls to boycott the movie, Sony Pictures said they, quote, sincerely regret not being more aware and sensitive to this issue. Their apology made it clear that having a cartoony rabbit take advantage of a realistic problem was a bad idea.
So, are we good?
This was pretty bad. Even for you.
Number 9. Fining a school for watching The Lion King. Walt Disney Studios.
I'm gonna be the main event like no king was before. I'm brushing up, I'm looking down, working on my roar.
When Emerson Elementary School parents wanted to raise money for students, they decided to host a screening of 2019's The Lion King. Their innocent attempt to boost the budget was rewarded with an official notice that they owed Disney money.
Let them go, Shenzi! They made a mistake. A horrible mistake. But if you do this, you will start a war with Mufasa.
A company called Movie Licensing USA claimed that the school had to pay $250 for that Lion King screening because it counted as a, quote, public performance. This legal notice might have felt especially absurd since the remake made over $1 billion worldwide. After the story broke, then Disney CEO Robert Iger said that the studio was sorry for the fine and even offered to give the school money. The parents at the school were probably singing Hakuna Matata for that official message.
Hakuna Matata, ain't no passing craze.
It means no worries for the rest of your day.
Yeah, sing it, kid.
Number 8. Giving the villains limb differences in The Witches. Warner Brothers.
And a real witch always wears gloves. Always. Because a real witch doesn't have hands. She's got claws.
Claws?
In an attempt to set the remake of the Roald Dahl fantasy apart from the original film, filmmakers changed an aspect of the villains. The 2020 movie decided that all the sinister witches would have 3 fingers on each hand.
Okay, you trussed up succubines. You may remove your gloves.
Not only was this physical characteristic absent from the book the movie was based on, but the design choice offended several communities. Critics pointed out that making every evil character have 3 fingers sent a harmful message to adults and kids who had similar limb differences. Both representatives from Warner Brothers and The Witch's star Anne Hathaway stepped in to apologize for any offense they caused. Although both critics and audiences were already lukewarm on the film, this controversy only made its reputation worse.
You are a sheep of kid for nothing.
Number 7. Misrepresenting people in Dreamgirls. DreamWorks and Paramount Pictures.
What are you ladies jawing about?
Well, Curtis, we were just wondering. Do you cheat on your wife like Mr. Jimmy Early? Effie! I don't know her.
Most audiences expect that movies inspired by true stories might alter some details to add extra drama. However, several famous people couldn't accept how they were portrayed in Dreamgirls. Music mogul Berry Gordy Jr. in particular was upset that a character loosely based on him came off as villainous throughout the fictional movie.
We are gonna make friends with the most important DJs in this country. It's strictly paid for play with those boys. That takes money, real money. What is that?
Although both movie studios publicly acknowledged that they might have gone too far, the timing of their statement was also criticized. DreamWorks and Paramount Pictures issued their apology only days before the world would find out if Dreamgirls took home any Oscar gold. Since the voting was already finished, their statement couldn't affect their Academy hopes. In the end, the studios behind Dreamgirls got 2 Oscars and said sorry within the same week. Number 6. Peter Fonda's threatening tweet. Sony Pictures Classics.
In this film, it's a road film. It's very funny. Vera Farmiga is the star, and Chris Plummer plays her father. It's really well written and beautifully done.
Just a few days before Peter Fonda was set to appear in the movie Boundaries, he issued an angry tweet aimed at then-President Trump's immigration policies. A portion of the actor's angry and very not suitable for work message suggested that Barron Trump should be put into a horrible situation. Fonda's message was so harsh to the young kid that his mother called for the Secret Service to step in. Before this PR nightmare could get out of control, Sony Pictures Classics called out its star for making such a negative and harmful tweet. At the same time, the company still stood by releasing the movie with Fonda's role intact.
You know, I'll open a bottle of McClellan 25. I've been saving it for somebody worthy.
Well, you better put it in a to-go cup.
Despite the actor's apology, Boundaries didn't get much love from audiences or critics.
My daughter Jenny hasn't spoken to me since I forgot to thank her in the Globes in '93. She was 9, Jack.
Number 5. Whitewashing Gods of Egypt. Lionsgate.
Such a big day for the family. You must be proud.
I am.
Look at you, nephew. Magnificent.
Despite being set in Egypt, this 2016 fantasy movie filled most of its lead roles with actors who were not from the region. Moviegoers almost immediately called out the film for its casting choices.
Grandfather, I'm sorry. I mean, no disrespect.
You don't know the difference.
Around the time that the director expressed his regret for the lack of diversity, Lionsgate also released a statement about the ensemble. According to reports, the company said that they, quote, failed to live up to our own standards of sensitivity and diversity. It's unclear if better casting could have saved the film from being a box office bomb. However, viewers were definitely unwilling to accept that this Egypt-set fantasy fell short in one major way before the credits even rolled.
Unless you brought more wine, get out.
I'm no worshiper.
Number 4. Including an offensive joke in Monster Hunter. Constantine Films.
Where the hell are we? How do we get so far from the road?
I don't know.
What was supposed to be a harmless monster fighting flick became the center of an international PR disaster due to one scene. During the film, a conversation between 2 soldiers included a reference to a racist joke used against Chinese and Japanese people. The dialogue exchange stirred up so much backlash in China that Monster Hunter was completely pulled from theaters. Constantine Films quickly moved to issue a full apology to everyone who had been offended. Additionally, the controversial dialogue was taken out of every version of the movie worldwide. But those measures couldn't prevent both the movie and even editions of the game it was based on from getting hugely negative reviews from offended audience members.
What happened to this ancient civilization?
They destroy themselves.
Number 3. Using a male voice to represent a transgender actress. Universal Pictures International.
Cuz, you're sneaking up the joint with your sad little face.
But I like it here.
No, you don't.
No, I don't, but I like you.
As soon as viewers heard the Italian trailer for Promising Young Woman, they called out a problematic creative decision. When transgender actress Laverne Cox spoke, the voice of an Italian actor named Roberto Pedicini came out. Audiences were incredibly offended that Cox was represented by a cisgender male performer for this version of the movie.
I just heard a phone ring in the back.
No, you didn't.
I most definitely heard a phone ring in the back.
In response to the backlash, Universal Pictures International took swift action. After issuing a full apology, they swore to bring in new people to represent Cox, and even delayed releases to add the necessary changes. Universal Pictures International also pledged to, quote, prevent similar mistakes from happening again on future projects.
So take his other job then. Take any job.
Are you firing me?
Maybe I should.
Number 2. 9/11 imagery in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles advertisement. Paramount Studios, Australia.
Ma'am? Hello. I apologize. My colleague here forgot to say please.
After the Heroes in a Half Shell enjoyed a pretty solid opening in America, Australia was ready to launch their live-action tale in its cinemas. They showcased their excitement by featuring a poster that featured the heroes and an exploding building. The tweet instantly became problematic when people saw it had a September 11th release date. Since the imagery mirrored the events of that tragic day, the company immediately removed their post.
Do not say a word about this to anyone. If you do, we will find you.
Paramount Australia additionally noted, quote, combining that image and date was a mistake. Fortunately for the studio, this gigantic social media blunder did not overshadow the film.
You know, I'm gonna pretend we never had this conversation. I'm erasing it from my mind. And the rest of us, we're gonna go back to work. Let's hit it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Creating fake news for a cure for wellness. 20th Century Fox.
We cheat and deceive as we claw our way to the pinnacle of what we define as achievement.
Since a cure for wellness revolves around a health facility that's not what it seems, employees at 20th Century Fox decided to reflect that sense of deception in their marketing. In 2017, the company created a few websites that pushed fake news. The false stories ranged from misinformation about vaccinations to saying a secret meeting occurred between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. Although a number of people started sharing these articles, it was eventually uncovered that it was nothing more than a stunt.
Trust, Mr. Lockhart. I mean, if we can't trust each other, then how can I help you?
After receiving harsh backlash, 20th Century Fox said, quote, the digital campaign was inappropriate on every level. It's hard to believe that anyone thought pushing realistic fake news to promote a film could ever be appropriate.
I suppose someone has to take responsibility.
Something like that.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.